Going to do a little project here. I haven't cut one of these, so it doesn't look too bad. This, I believe you call it Briolette. Well, this one's got 8 main facets, and I'm going to do 16 of the main facets, which will give me 32 of these break facets. It's kind of like an elongated round brilliant design. So that's what we're doing for the base of it. And the top, we'll probably follow the round brilliant design also. I'm going to switch to an 8 on the top. So we'll get started with that. What we're going to use is this piece of yellow quartz. I've got it kind of rounded off a little bit. I'm going to actually put the facets on it first, my girdle facets on it first. That's a lot of cutting, but I want to see what size I've got to work with, and then I'm going to kind of work backwards. Hopefully I won't knock it off the top, and we'll go from there. Because I can't use the whole length, because I've got a little bit here on top, about this much, that I have to kind of cut out because there is a fracture in the top part there, so I can't use that as a table. Now let's get started. Alright, we have it roughed out, the 16 facets here, so I know just how big I can make the girdle. What I'm going to do now is I put a topper plate on here. This is a D-Light topper plate, a lightning lap topper plate, and this is 600 grit. And I'm going to smooth this girdle out and true it up pretty good. And after we get that done, then I'm going to go down and start working on some facets on the pavilion here. I think what we're going to end up doing here is making it actually a multifaceted design similar to this, only it'll have more facets because I got twice the number of girdle facets. So let's get started on that. Well, I've been working on the shape for a while here. I had to come up with something, had to find some angles that would work to make it a more pleasing shape, and yet use the length of the stone the best I can. And that's kind of what we came up with. We got 4 different angles on here. Let's see what do we got. I started out on the pavilion tip at 43 degrees, then we went to 60 and 78, and we went to 83.5. So now I'm going to straighten out the girdle line, and after we straighten out the girdle line, I will go ahead and polish the bottom of it. Riley's here helping. Right, kid? She likes faceting. It's comforting, soothing. So that's what we're heading right now. I'm going to work on the girdle line and get that nice and straight. It's just a little bit off here because it took a little bit of work cutting these top facets in because the angle is so shallow. So we'll get that going. Hi everyone, this is Jeff from Hometown Treasures. The stone I've been working on is a very, very large stone. I had to make a special transfer jig so I had enough room to get it in there to transfer it. As you can see with a standard little jig here, there's just not even close to enough room. So I took an old piece of walnut that was very seasoned and put a groove in it down the center with a saw, and then carved this out. Put in a couple clamps here to hold the faceting dop sticks in place. So I had enough room to do it. Now, the question is, how accurate is it? We'll find out, because I'm going to take this off the stick and start on the crown for this stone. I'm going to attempt to take this off the stick here. Going to wrap it up and wet it down. Keep the stone cool. And we're going to heat up the dop stick there to try to loosen that glue up. one. There we go. Just like that, it's off. That off of there. And we have our stone transferred, ready to stick on the quill. Start the crown. I'm going around faceting the 16 mains, getting them breaking them down quite a ways here to get it closer to my girdle line. 42 is just the angle from port. That's going to be the main angle. And we'll work it all around, get it down to 42, all the way around, and see how close my transfer jig was. Press 0 there. 42. Go to the next one. We're going to do that all the way around, and we'll see how close they meet up when I get around the circle there. And this is my meat. Whoops. That is the meat facet right there. That is the meat facet right there. Here's my 96. There's my 90. And they are extremely close. So, just with the rough grinding there going all the way around, we can see that we're on the right track. We're in good shape. So let's continue on and we'll work it down, get it to where I've got a girdle the thickness I want, and then we'll go on from there. Well, this is the design I'm doing, or a variation of it. As you can see, this is just a multifaceted pavilion. And what I've done is I've stretched it out as far as I can get it and still maintain the facets. Now I've got the pavilion done, it's flipped over, and now we are working on the crown. Now this is also going to be multifaceted on the crown. It's not going to be a standard round brilliant design. I've got 16 facets all around the bottom, but the second row is not meet point. I did not bring them down to meet the girdle line. I left it up so I can make a little higher crown. So I will continue this all the way around. The third row will be meet point to the second row, and at that point then that third row will act as my star facets, and we'll put a table on it. So I'm going to continue on around here at 800 grit and cut my second row facets. Riley's here helping out. Right now, she's just mostly for emotional support. She has to look good doing it though, so thanks for the help, honey. I've got her second row of facets cut all the way around the top here. Got our second row of facets cut all the way around the top, and I'm going to go and do the star facets. I'm going to go back and offset 6 degrees on my rotation, and I was going to go up 7 degrees, or down 7 degrees you might say, for my star facets, but ran into a little problem. Don't have enough height. I'm on the top, so we're going to 30 instead of 28. 2 degrees isn't going to make a lot of difference there. I'll get going, let's cut those star facets, then I'll go back and smooth them out, pre-polish this stuff. Well, we have the crown roughed out at 800 grit plate. I'm going to go back now and I'm going to put a lightning lap 1200 grit plate on and clean it up so it's ready for polish, and we'll go from there. Well, as you can see, we've got the crown facets cut on our gem here. And I did get enough room to get it in tabling top. So now I'm starting to cut down the table there. I'm just going to bring it slowly down until I feel that's where I want it to be and go from there. Well, I do believe we have it. We've got the crown cut and polished, the pavilion polished. Now we've got to see if we can get it off the stick without damaging it, because I've got a lot of glue in this thing to hold it in place. I think, well, I have finished this gemstone. It's a big one, and it's really, really, really deep. Interesting. This is a lemon quartz, but it doesn't look very lemony. It looks more like a smoky. It's like an orangish brown. It's very interesting. The depth of it just brings out the deepness of the color. So we're going to measure it and weigh it, and then put it on the turntable and see what it looks like. There's no good way to show this one off on a turntable. It's so large and so deep, you cannot get the look there. You can't see down it. You can't see how it reflects that deep color. And it is a large stone. 96.1 carats. That's a lot of weight. And it's 30.4 millimeters in diameter by 81 millimeters tall. Maybe to make a nice bolo tie. I think it may be a little too large for a cocktail ring. But that's a stone we've been working on for quite a while. Been busy with everything else, and finally got a chance to get back and finish it. It is awful pretty though. Very unique. Thank you for watching. This is Jeff and Riley from Hometown Treasures.